How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massive Beer Reviews. Back a little bit of a fruited sour. Not sure what kind. Makes me think lactose, because the name of this beer is Peaches Sour a la Mode. A la Mode, you know, you're talking about ice cream. This comes from Untitled Art. Well, the beer is made by Untitled Art. The beer actually comes from my boy Mike from New Jersey. He put a little Tavor box together, and this was in it, and he sent it off. Here we go. 6% Peaches Sour a la Mode, Berliner Weiss style ale with peach, apricot, cinnamon, and graham cracker. No lactose to be spoken of in there. Yeah, I like the art. I can dig it. There we go. Graham cracker. Sour. A la Mode makes me think ice cream. I would imagine there being a vanilla, at least vanilla, if not a lactose addition in it, but we'll see what's what. Like I said, label-wise, I can get down with it. And beer-wise, that's pretty dark. I mean, you're talking about peaches. That definitely looks like super dense, ripened, peachy juiciness going on right there. Super dense kind of orange core, a little bit lighter on the edges. Pinky finger, creepily uniform bubbles throughout. But that looks like a triple IPA. That's how that comes off, about how dark and dense and thick that comes off. So I would imagine there's a decent amount of kind of orange in this sucker. Good nose. Yeah, there's lactose in it. Yeah, there's no way there's not. This can't be. It doesn't say it, though. I'm curious, because I always imagined, and this can is almost exactly 2... Well, no, is it exactly 2 months old? It is exactly 2 months old. Yeah, I mean, you get a big peach kind of pop off of this. It comes off more like peach. It's not peach ringy, but if you threw a peach ring into like Cool Whip, because you're getting this big kind of lactose component. If they say there's no lactose in this, I'm almost calling like pants on fire on this at this point, because there's a big, rich kind of creamy kind of creme kind of component to it. That graham cracker cinnamon comes through, so you get this kind of like cereal like graininess, but that pop of cinnamon makes you think more like Cinnamon Toast Crunchy. And those peaches floating on the other end, which are married perfectly with that kind of soft, oaty lactose kind of thing going on. It's like two separate things in the nose. It's that graham crackery cinnamon thing over here. On the other side, you have the peaches and cream over here. I kind of like where it's going, to be perfectly honest with you. It smells pretty nice. Let's dive in. Cheers. Well, here's the deal. This is MFing delicious. This is really, really, really delicious. Is it beer? We can have that conversation. We can have that conversation. We're not going to, though. But we can. That's me saying it's a lot of adjuncts, but there's still a bitter component to it. This reminds me much, much more of a milkshake IPA than it does like a Berliner. There's a tartness to it. It's very, very gentle, very, very soft. The reason why it doesn't get milkshake IPA vibes completely is because of the lack of hops, but you get this big stone fruit component from those peaches. It almost acts like that in, like, you know, a very stone fruit forward kind of hoppiness. It lacks any kind of bittering or greenness or anything that would accompany that level of stone fruit, so that's where that disconnect comes from. But the way the lactose comes off in this, and I'm absolutely blown away they wouldn't mention that there's lactose in here. There is. If they say there's not, their nose is super long while their pants are on fire. Like it's how it is. They probably just assume people know. I mean, something says a la mode on it. I just assume it is, and I assumed right. But the way the lactose comes off on this, and the way the beer comes off, and how it marries really well with those peaches, it really does remind me of some of the upper echelon milkshake IPAs. I'm not kind of putting it down going, it's a shitty milkshake IPA. No, it's one of the better ones. It gives you that soft confectionery vibe. The peaches come off great. I love the way that kind of cinnamon and that graham cracker adds like kind of like an underlayer current. It's pretty prominent. It's not as big as the lactose in peach, but it's it's not to be cheesy, but it's almost like a peach cream cobbler with like a graham crackery cinnamon crust. That cinnamon graham cracker thing is like the crust of the beer, where that the meat of it is more of that kind of peaches and lactose. And like I said, we could have that conversation if we really did want to. Is this more adjunct than beer? It is, but you're drinking beer. The tartness obviously is mostly, I would assume, the Berliner Weiss. There might be a little bit coming from the amount of peaches dosed in here. But if we kind of eschew that style or how much of a beer has to be beer in order for it to be beer conversation and just break it down, is this a tasty beverage? Yes, that is without a doubt a yes. A very much a yes. In a very, very tasty way. I'm not going to push this beer aside. I will finish this whole can. There's a lot of these super fruited sours, especially when you lean heavily into lactose, that I kind of drink half a can, I dump it. That's not going to be the case with this one. I'm going to drink the whole thing. I really do like it. Tasty, drinkable, fun. All those words. Done and done. Let's talk about it. Is this one of the better fruit smoothie sours? That's what it is. It's got lactose, fruit. It's a Berliner. This is one of the best. This is up there. Mount Rushmore status, honestly. I think this is absolutely fantastic. One of the better ones I've had. Because even though it is more adjunct than beer, I still get the core of it. There's a beer there, and that I kind of appreciate. Value and availability. Like I said, it came from a box that Mike put together on Devore for me. So I need to know how much you paid, Mike, and I need to know how much this beer costs, like, at the brewery or relatively close. I know I got a lot of Wisconsin peeps watch the channel, so please let me know. And leave you with, if you like what we like this beer. If you like those fruit smoothie sours, but you want something a bit more drinkable. It's not turbid thick. It's not like something that, would this can explode? Maybe. I don't think so. I think this is probably a little bit less of that re-fermentable sugar. I think almost all of the sweetness on this beer is coming from a lactose addition. And I think, so that's not going to re-ferment, obviously. So I think it's more one of those beers like the Blender series from New Park. And then it's like, it's the partly sunny, partly cloudy version of these fruited sours in a pretty way. So if you like those beers, you'll like this. It's really well done. So there you go. A little bit of review in the books. Thank you very much for sending this off, Mike. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers if you want to check me out doing the social media stuff. Beer Massif if you want to check me out doing the whole podcasting thing. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a little bit of Untitled art right now. Hopefully see you next time. Cheers.